Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Road to Champion. For those of you who haven't seen the previous videos, this is a series where each episode we take a different skill/mechanic, train it for 2 hours over 5 days and see what it does to my rank and gameplay, with our ultimate goal being that of getting to champion in 2s. In the previous episodes, we trained skills like defending, shooting, and even tried playing 1v1s for improvement. If you want to watch those videos, the link to the playlist is in the description. Today we'll be training another extremely important skill in Rocket League, which is aerialing. Last time we finished in Diamond 2 Division 3, so let's see how far we can climb today. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. So, unlike other episodes where I just jump into random training packs I find, I actually had a plan for this one. You see, I watched this great video on how to get better at aerials, so I decided to give it a go. It's a really good video and I recommend checking it out if you want to get better at aerials yourself, but it basically gives you 5 training packs that get progressively harder. You have to complete each of these training packs only using the fast aerial, and hold down boost basically all along while going for the shot. The first level was fairly simple, since all of the shots were stationary, so it only took me about 5 minutes to complete. The second one was a little more difficult because this time the balls actually moved. Nonetheless, all the aerials were still rather simple, so after about 15 minutes I completed this one too. The third level is where things finally got a little bit interesting. This training pack focused on high aerials, and it was quite hard hitting all of the shots while fast aerialing and boosting. But after some practice, I was able to finish this one as well. The fourth one was where things got really tricky. With this one, you basically have to use aerial on each shot if you want to score. Some of them are really hard and it took me a bunch of tries, but after about an hour, I was able to complete it. At around that point, the 2-hour timer was out and it was time for some games. So let's just say day 1 wasn't my day when it came to ranked. I don't know what has been with my form recently, but I just can't seem to win any games. Also, I did try to use the fast aerial when I could, but I think I only did it successfully like maybe twice, and with the ball a lot more times than that. Overall, we played a total of 11 matches, going 3-7. Yeah, quite an ugly start. So on day 2, I moved on to the level 5 training pack, and let me just say this one is truly difficult. You see, in every shot, you're lined up with a boost pad that you have to get to first before you can go for the aerial. Not only that, you also have to hit the ball before the last beep of the counter, which happens when the timer goes from 2 seconds to 1. This makes it so that you basically have to be perfect in everything you do if you want to hit the ball. It's really challenging, and some shots took me very long before I even got close to scoring a goal, but after about an hour, I was able to somehow complete all of the shots. That being said, I definitely didn't do it perfectly, since with some of them I went for the shot a little bit early before I got to the boost pad and hit it a little late after the timer already beeped, but I was happy for now. The rest of the training was spent on this intermediate aerial training pack, which was also quite good. So I'm gonna be honest, I was kinda worried after day 1. I didn't want to end in a lower division 2 episodes in a row, and it was stressful starting out that bad. Thankfully though, a bit of a miracle happened. In the first game I played, I matched up with this one player and we did quite well together, so I decided to team up with him afterwards. And let me say, what a great decision. They turned out to be an amazing player and we did super well together. Unfortunately, after 6 games, they had to go to bed. Thank you for everything, Chilksess, or however your name is pronounced, and I will see you in Champion one day. So on day 2, we played a total of 6 games, of which we won all of them, going all the way to Division 4. So on day 3, I decided to focus on consistencies. So I spent the whole day training all the shots in the level 2 training pack that I completed back on day 1. I tried to get as many shots in a row as I could while still only doing the fast aerials. And let me say, even though the shots themselves were quite easy, I only got like 6 or 7 in a row at best. I thought that I would be able to get all 10 in a row by the end of the training session, but I was quite away from that. But my consistency definitely got better over the day. It was completely different from when I started. When it came to gameplay, I definitely felt the increase in the amounts of aerials I actually hit, so that felt really good. That being said, I felt like I sometimes unnecessarily went for some aerials because I was excited to test out my new skills and I wanted to see all the improvement in my matches. This often resulted in me making bad decisions when it came to rotation and other things. It's hard not going for every aerial, since it's so much fun seeing all of the training come to fruition. Overall, on day 3, we played a total of 8 games, going 4-4, staying in the same division. On day 4, I did the exact same thing with the level 3 training pack, spending all of the 2 hours on here. I knew that I wouldn't be able to get too many shots in a row, so I split the training in 2 halves, focusing on the first and last 5 shots of the training pack in each. There's not really much to say here. As you would guess, I just spent 2 hours grinding on one training pack, so it wasn't exactly the most thrilling thing to do, but I did really feel the results this time. I was finally completely used to going for the ball using the fast aerial every time. I also often added a little bit of aerial to it since it felt natural after all that training. Here in Diamond, very few players actually use the fast aerial, so you can really tell the difference if you use it yourself. You'll almost always get faster to the ball, even if you start at the worst position. That being said, even though I can hit the ball, it's rare for me to put a good shot on that. That's still rather difficult. Nonetheless, hitting it off the backboard can be very useful too. Overall, on day 4, we played a total of 7 games, going 4-3, staying in the same division. As you would probably guess, I spent all my time on the last day on the level 4 training pack. Even after all the training, this pack is still really difficult for me. I don't think I scored more than 2 goals in a row during the entire practice session. If you really wanted to master this training pack, I think you would have to spend tens of hours on it, unless you're already in like Grand Champion obviously. Nonetheless, it's a really good training pack for getting better and more comfortable with aerial. It helped me a ton with that. In terms of games, I knew that I was pretty close at getting to Diamond 3. More specifically, I was 2 wins away. The first game that I played was incredibly close, but we somehow managed to win, which meant that I only needed to win 1 more game to get where I wanted to be. Now, I would love to tell you that the final game was a back and forth exciting one, but it really wasn't. My opponent's teammate was AFK from the start of the match, and from there on, it was just a complete sweep. I know how painful it is when something like this happens in rank, so I feel bad for my opponent. Or at least that's how I would feel if this game didn't end with us getting promoted to Diamond 3. You know, the game's the game. Now, I could have continued to play more games on this day, but I really wanted to finish the video in Diamond 3, so I just ended it here. Which means that on day 5 we played a total of 2 games, winning both, and getting promoted to Diamond 3 Division 1. Overall, we played a total of 33 games, winning 19 and losing 14, moving from Diamond 2 Division 3 to Diamond 3 Division 1. Out of all the training I've done in the series so far, I have to say I feel this one the most in terms of changes in my gameplay. It feels completely natural for me to go for fast aerials and use aerial. Obviously, I don't always score, but I usually at least hit the ball, and it's rare for me to get there later than my opponent. As I said before, players here in Diamond and below almost never use fast aerials, which means that if you can learn them, you'll have a huge advantage over your opponent. I also very much recommend following the training method from the video I showed at the start. It really helped me out a lot. And that about wraps up everything I have for you today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all next week. Bye!